Dear kid, okay, I get it. We learn things all our lives. Mostly information gathered as experience day by day. Can we call it knowledge? And we try to apply these lessons as these experience as we grow. We are curious by nature, aren't we? We are avid learners. And for many of us, the process of learning never stops. The outcome? The more we learn, the better we become. That's okay. I get all your points. You've been a great help to our so called learning organization. But at the end of the day, these critically important pieces of learning are not integrated into how the organizations and its people think and act. We sometimes leave the company with these learning and organization goes back to square one. That's a shame. But as you have said today, companies are turning into learning organization. People leave, knowledge, process stays. Don't get me wrong. How does that happen even in the first place? Hi, Daphne. Excellent question. I'm impressed. Thank you for bringing this up. Easy days are almost over. It's long gone, and everything seems to be oversupplied. Companies are in tougher competition than ever. Customer preferences are shifting, technology advances, more choices are than ever. And you're right, profits are shrinking. How do you survive the turmoil? Millions of companies die each year. And how do you survive then? Surprisingly, most companies are turning into learning organization. The basic survival tactics is on. Okay, back to basics. What is a learning organization? First, in learning organization, employees constantly create, acquire, interpret, transfer, and retain knowledge. Mind my all keywords. It revolves through the retention of knowledge, and this helps their company to adapt the unpredictable faster than their rivals can. Second, it actually acts. It takes the new knowledge as the basis for responding to the changing environment. In fact, the knowledge grows on you. Seems like it's way oversimplified. But not many organizations understand that. Truth to be told, many fails even not realizing what has actually happened. Ray Tata, who was CEO for many years to analog devices, yes, it's a semiconductor company, and he said something remarkable. He said, the rate at which organizations and individuals learn may well become the only sustainable competitive advantage. Yes, and it is the only differentiator that makes organizations survive. Products can be copied, services can be copied, even processes can be copied. Things like Six Sigma are available on the open market. But if you're learning more rapidly than your rivals can, you can get ahead and stay ahead. I'm a big fan of Isaac Newton. Once he said, I've seen further than others by standing on the shoulders of giants. That means if you want to be the kind of person who sees further than others, it is kind of obligatory to discover giants whose shoulder we can stand upon. Obviously, it is done by using the understanding gained by major thinkers before in order to make intellectual progress. Just tell me, do I need to invent the transistors all over again or just use the semiconductor chip which consists of billions of transistors and then explore further? And the previous learnings are always crucial. The more shoulders of giants we stand upon, the further we will see. I've been reading The Toyota Way a book written by Jeffrey Liker. He identified some of the management principle that makes Toyota the world's greatest manufacturer. And one of these principles is become a learning organization. Boeing, GE, Google, Xerox, they all have prioritized the same term. Guess what? I've always wanted to dig out something from the governmental organizations, especially similar to one of my own. I've been to US military for some times. Perhaps the best known example of this approach in the US military is after action review. This is, we call it AAR process. And that is being widely used by many companies. It involves a systematic debriefing every after mission, project, or any critical activity. This process is framed by four simple questions. And it starts with what did we set out to do? And then what actually happened? And third, why did it happen? And at last, what do we do next time? So it is something like which activities do we sustain or which do we improve? In the army, lessons move quickly up and down in the chain of command and also laterally through their restricted websites. Then the results are retained by Centers for Army Lesson Learned. They call it called CALL. And such transfer and retention of learning is vital for any organization. For all companies and organizations, at some point of in their history, survival might depend on becoming a learning organization. And at the end, efforts to move becoming the learning organization are never wasted. And in fact, they might help guarantee the survival of all ideas, products, and also enhancement of their members. Thank you. Bye.